Good morning, everyone. It's Zia. I keep saying it's Zia. I should say I'm Zia, and this is Chasing the Moon RV. And this is Charlie, who I realize hasn't been in very much of the videos, but he's been very much part of the journey. This video is a little bit different again. It's not another van tour. Since I've been in Nova Scotia, I've been able to slow down a bit and take more time. I'm able to give a little bit of more information about the places that I've been to, the towns or the museums or whatever. And so I hope you enjoy that. Let me know in the comments. I have 3 cousins that live, 2 in Mahone Bay and 1 in a place called Indian Point. And I spent a week there and it was wonderful. And I think if I ever win a lottery, I might just buy a house there. It's a lovely place. I have, as some of my family know, I have a great fear of sharks. And yet I went swimming twice in Mahone Bay, even though sharks that have had, great white sharks that have had trackers put on them have been known to swim through Mahone Bay. I went in. So, as I've said before, this journey is mainly about challenging myself and pushing myself out of my comfort zone, and that certainly did. It didn't hurt that it was a very hot, humid day again. I still haven't got away from that weather, even though I'm in the Maritimes. So looking at that cool water, I just couldn't resist. I didn't stay in very long, but I made myself do it. So I'm pretty proud of myself for that. I was disappointed not to be able to film really anything of Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. I am hoping to get back there on my return. And the reason for that was the weather was so bad. The rain and the wind were literally lashing the van, and then really heavy fog rolled in, and I had wanted to see the dark sky preserve that is close to Yarmouth. It has one of the darkest skies in North America, I believe, and so you can see the Milky Way, which I'd love to see again. And I didn't get to do that, or to see any of the old sea captains' houses down in the harbor area. I moved on to Halifax. I wanted to go there because I needed Wi-Fi, but also because as a very young man, my brother was there for a period of time, and I thought it would be interesting to drive through a place where he had lived, and I remember him leaving home and going there and how much I missed him. So that was interesting for me. But I have to tell you, the more I'm away, the less I'm liking being in big cities with lots of traffic. I couldn't wait to get back out into nature. So when I left to go over the bridge into Dartmouth, I hit my first toll booth. And I got in the wrong lane. You either had to have a pass that you could scan, I believe, or you had to have coin, and I had no change on me. And there was this huge lineup of traffic behind me, and I'm just looking at the toll keeper in one of the other booths where you could give him money or whatever to pay, and he's saying, you got to put coin in. I'm going, I don't have any. So finally, 2 guys on motorcycles behind me, one of them ran up, threw some coins, and so the gate went up and I was free to go. So always make sure when you're somewhere you don't know, there could be a toll booth or a toll on a highway, so always have coin with you. Just before I left Nova Scotia, I was in Sherbrooke, and I stayed in an abandoned campground. And it was really beautiful. You'll see some images of that. But I have to say, after it got dark, it got a little bit eerie because it was very overgrown. There's all these old picnic tables and old electrical posts. And there was an old house, an office there. And I started thinking about scary movies, which I never watch, but I started thinking about them anyway, and zombies and all kinds of stuff. But I stayed and I had a comfortable night. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video. I'm so excited to be in Nova Scotia. I have cousins here that I'm looking forward to seeing. I had intended to figure out where I was going to go while I was on the ferry, but I never got a chance to do that. So I'm just driving. I don't have a clue where I am. I'll pull over somewhere and look at the map and decide what route I want to take. So, but we're here, and it's a sunny day, and yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm in Apple Orchard, and that's where we're gonna sleep tonight. It's sunset, and I'm just getting settled for the evening, and look what has come out of the underbrush. There's actually 2 of them, and I just love it when I see this sort of thing. It's so special. My apologies, I didn't realize the camera had slipped and you're looking at the windshield wiper. Annapolis Royal was originally called Port Royal and was founded in 1605 by the French. It was Canada's first permanent European settlement and the site of colonial capitals of France, Great Britain, and Scotland. It was renamed Annapolis Royal in 1710 by the British and served as Nova Scotia's first capital city before Halifax was established. A very pretty, charming town with some wonderful old houses and buildings in it. Who was looking to buy a home here a few years ago, and I completely understand why. This is Barrington, Nova Scotia, and according to them, they are the lobster capital of Canada. But the reason I stopped here today wasn't for lobster. It was to visit this very old museum, which is an old wool mill. At one point in my life, I had 2 looms, and so I thought I would find this a really interesting stop. And I was able to stop because it was cool enough to leave Charlie in the van. The Barrington Woolen Mill was a thriving producer of woolens from 1882 until the 1960s. It's powered by a water-driven turbine. The mill washed, picked, carded, spun, dyed, and wove the wool. And you can see the machinery that transformed all that raw fleece into yarn and cloth. And listen to the stories about the lives of the local mill workers from the guides there, like my guide, Mackenzie. And you can even try some of the woolen tasks like weaving and spinning. It was an interesting place to visit, and they have a little gift shop there too. It's hard to believe, looking at this little town, that at one time in 1783 it was the fourth largest city in North America. The reason for that was the Loyalists who opposed the Revolution in America and came up to Canada. It was also the largest free black settlement in North America. Almost in Mahone Bay, where my cousins are, and after 2.5 months, almost 3 months on the road, I am so ready to see familiar faces and receive some hugs. I didn't end up recording my arrival because I wasn't sure if any of my cousins would want to be on camera, but I have to say I have been welcomed with open arms, and I am filled with gratitude for how at home I'm feeling here. I thought I wouldn't get to see the blue nose too, and then there she was, sailing past my cousin's front yard. Bernie, hey bud, you're looking for Mika? So this is Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. Farewell, Lunenburg Harbor, where my cousin's husband, Don Barr, was the captain of the Blue Nose 2 for over 30 years. We're at Peggy's Cove. This is not the area that's typically filmed. It's a little picnic area next to the parking lot, but we're going to have a little bit of a walk around, so come with me. Halifax, Nova Scotia, the older suburbs heading to the Citadel historic site. Is it far to walk?
I see your thing there.
Yes.
You can park behind that.
Over here?
You're good there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The Halifax Citadel is a National Historic Site that was built in 1749 as a strategic base for the British Royal Navy. And this really was like taking a step back in time. Really fascinating and amazing views of Halifax City. The bridge to Dartmouth, where I encountered my first toll booth. What a nightmare. Thank you, motorcycle guys. I had to share this amazing spot I found for my campsite tonight, and it actually is an old campground. There are picnic tables around, and one of the local people told me that nobody would bother me here. So I have a campground all to myself tonight. I'm pretty happy about that. It was a beautiful spot to stay during the day and the early evening, but got a little bit eerie after dark, being in an abandoned campground with an old office and house. As always, wherever you are, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, I hope you're having a wonderful day. And if you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. And subscribe if you've been watching but haven't subscribed yet. Doesn't cost you anything, doesn't mean anything, but it makes a difference to the channel. And hit the bell if you want to know when the next video is coming out. And I'll say bye-bye for now.